Early morning storms caused damage on parts of the Suncoast. We'll tell you where this happened. Plus, cleanup is underway in Port Manatee after a major industrial fire overnight. We'll tell you what caught fire. And another shooting spree leaves innocent victims dead. The search is on for a motive in Toronto. Your Suncoast News starts right now.
You're watching ABC 7 News at noon.
Good afternoon, I'm Ray Collins. Our top story at noon, the Suncoast was anything but today. Strong storms rattled parts of Manatee County. This was the scene around 28th Avenue East in Palmetto. Neighbors there are cleaning up the damage left behind after storms rolled through. About 5 o'clock this morning at the Coach House Mobile Home Park, wind gusts curled some siding on the homes. The wind also damaged a few roofs, twisted a street sign, and snapped a power pole. Debris is scattered now across the park. So what's next? Here's the first forecast from meteorologist John Scalzi.
Ray, thanks. Yes, indeed, it was a very rough weather day all along the west coast of Florida. A line of showers rolled through about 4 a.m. this morning, going through Pasco, Hillsborough, and Pinellas County, producing multiple instances of damage as well as some notable wind gusts as well. And then the system moved into Manatee County, producing just tremendous amounts of rainfall, lots and lots of lightning, power outages, some trees down, as you just heard, downburst winds perhaps, and now things have quieted down significantly, with most of the heavy weather probably pushing down to the south as we've got a little bit of a break. As the system moved through, there were at least 20 reports of significant weather events going on across the west coast of the state of Florida, and locally we had a number of them as well. One of them was a thunderstorm that produced a wind gust of 56 miles per hour. That was just to the northwest of Anna Maria Island. Also, strong thunderstorm wind damage reports of trees down, power poles down. That was at the Coach House Mobile Home Park. Then we had a weather station gust of 44 miles per hour and another thunderstorm downburst bringing trees down near the Carlton Inlet in Bradenton as well. So all of that now quieting down, but not necessarily completely over. We have another piece of energy which may be arriving on the Suncoast by late tonight into tomorrow morning. We'll be watching for that. Have the details of that forecast for you coming up in just a few. Right?
Talk to you soon. Thank you, John. New developments now out of Manatee County, where the search is on for this 17-year-old boy behind me. Detectives have named Joe Claire-Juste as their suspect for the double homicide over the weekend. 2 men were shot just after midnight Sunday on Cortez Road West. 18-year-old Caleb Bowman arrived at the hospital with a gunshot wound and later died. The Manatee County Sheriff's Office was called, and their investigation then led them to the back of a shopping center where they found another person, 18-year-old Kamundry Pittman. Police say this was not random and the suspect knew the victims. It appears there was a fight over drugs. Now, police have since raised the reward to $3,000 for information to lead to Claire-Juste's whereabouts. If you can help with the investigation, please call Manatee County Crime Stoppers. An investigation is underway after a major industrial fire overnight at the Port Manatee in Palmetto. It happened in a massive biodiesel tank. Fire officials say 60,000 gallons of palm oil, primarily used for cooking in developing countries, was smoking when they first arrived. About 40 firefighters tackled flames from nearly 60,000 gallons of that palm oil. Firefighters are relieved it was biofuel, not actual oil, but they said the cleanup will still go on for quite a while.
Oil. Okay. So no immediate hazard to the environment. Nothing has escaped the tank at this point.
Thankfully, firefighters say nobody was injured, and there's still no word as to what caused the blaze in the first place. Happening today, well, it's a 1-year anniversary since a tragic accident that killed the oldest living manatee in captivity at the South Florida Museum in Bradenton. Snooty died days after his 69th birthday. Our Marla Spence joins us now with an update on this story. Marla?
Hey Ray, good afternoon. A year ago today, the big story here on the Suncoast was the death of Snooty the manatee. The well-known manatee drowned after getting stuck in a 30-inch plumbing access tunnel. The door that was normally bolted shut was somehow knocked loose, and Snooty was able to swim in, but not able to get out. Snooty was by far the biggest draw to the South Florida Museum. We had the chance to speak to staff there. They tell us that today is just like any other Monday. The museum is closed, and even though there are no special events in honor of Snooty today, the museum says they honor him every day with their manatee rehab program. Martha Wells says that she met so many people who share a special connection with Snooty, whether it was having their wedding at the museum or growing up seeing the beloved sea cow.
I don't think there's any way to capture why Snooty was so well loved internationally. I got to meet so many people who had heard about him, who had grown up with him, and he was part of their family.
Today, Snooty would have been 70 years old before he died. He was added to the Guinness World Record book for being the oldest manatee at the age of 69. His official portrait now hangs in a planetarium lobby with the museum's founders. Ray?
Thank you, Merle. Certainly was shocking news a year ago. New details out of Toronto now, where a gunman opened fire on a crowded street last night. A second shooting victim has since died. A dozen others are wounded. And as ABC's Maggie Rulli tells us, police are still trying to find a motive.
Just as family and friends are sitting down to dinner on Sunday night.
There's multiple victims, and the suspect that's fleeing looks like possibly still shooting.
A gunman fires off round after round.
I would say I heard at least 20 shots.
Straight into a crowded Toronto neighborhood.
Shocking, absolutely shocking. I mean, this is a street where people walk every day to go do their groceries, to have dinner, to have an ice cream, sit in a square, enjoy their summer.
Police arrive on scene and fire back. In the shootout, the suspect is killed, but not before more than a dozen people are shot. Police say they're still searching for a motive and have not yet ruled out terrorism.
I'm keeping everything open. I'm looking at absolutely every single possible motive. I'm not closing any doors or any chapters on this.
As investigators search for answers, Parliament in Ontario held a moment of silence for the victims.
I would ask the House now to rise to observe a moment's silence.
While lawmakers in Toronto are already calling for action.
I've said for some time that the city has a gun problem, in that guns are far too readily available to far too many people.
It was a gun-related shooting. I think it's time to step up again.
Canada's Prime Minister responded on Twitter saying his thoughts are with everyone affected by this terrible tragedy, and he's promising his support through this difficult time. Maggie Rulli, ABC News, New York.
The latest on breaking news across the world and right here on the Suncoast off our app. You go to the App Store and go to My Suncoast or WWSB. Time to talk about your money now. And Richard, Wall Street off to a slow start so far today.
A slow start, but it's probably not going to stay that way.
Really?
Stay tuned. Yes, indeed. This is a very, very big week on Wall Street. It's earnings week, or at least that's what I'm calling it. Let's try that again. 17% of the S&P 500 stocks will be reporting earnings this week. Google will be reporting them after the market closes tonight. We'll have to see how that goes. Google stock is up today, and so far of the companies that have reported, 87 companies have reported earnings, and guess what? 83 of those 87 have exceeded Wall Street estimates. So far so good, but talk about a quiet morning. Let's take a look at these numbers, and you won't believe them. There you see the Dow is down by 23 points, not even 1/10% at 25,034.87. That on volume of 388 million shares. The NASDAQ, very similar, down 0.08%, 6 points at 7,815.31. That on volume of 641 million shares. And talk about a non-event, look at the S&P. It is up by 0.08, statistically 0% at 2,801.66. Well, there was nothing quiet about what happened with Hasbro today. Its shares were up by more than 12% after the company reported much better than expected both revenues and bottom line profits. That despite the fact that Toys R Us, which was one of their major distributors, has in fact declared bankruptcy and going out of business. In case you don't recall, Hasbro owns such games as Candyland, Chutes and Ladders, my favorite by the way, Clue, Monopoly, Nerf, Mr. Potato Head, and Scrabble. So all of those apparently, Ray, are doing very, very well.
Yes.
And we'll have to see how it goes. But when you're up 12% in a day, that's pretty darn good.
Good start. See you back here 5 o'clock.
I'll be here with Google's earnings and whatever else is going on.
Okay, we'll see you then. Thank you, Richard.
You're welcome.
Still ahead on your Suncoast News, the benefits of taking a vacation. We'll have results of a new study on the physical impacts of taking time off. And later, Florida's Stand Your Ground law saves a man from charges after he shot and killed a man over a handicapped parking spot in Clearwater. That's coming up.
The ABC 7 Stock Report is sponsored by Sunset Cadillac.
Coast Guard, we are taking on water.
The United States Coast Guard. They secure our ports and waterways, protect our environment, keep drugs away from our kids, and save lives. It's dangerous work. And in times of triumph or tragedy, the Coast Guard Foundation answers the call to support Coast Guard members and their families. Learn more at coastguardfoundation.org.
Picking out a new ceiling fan? That's a do-it-yourself. Installing your new ceiling fan?
No.
That's a don't do it yourself. For ceiling fans, rewires, or anything electrical, play it safe. And call on the trained electricians from your locally owned Mr. Sparky. It's no accident that so many of our customers are repeat customers. Trust Mr. Sparky for all your electrical repairs.
Call 888-8-SPARKY.
This is an important message for anyone with Medicare. You may be eligible for an all-in-one Medicare plan that combines hospital, medical, and prescription drug coverage together with extra benefits that may include dental, vision, hearing aids, and much more. Some of these plans have a $0 monthly premium regardless of your income. That's right. For one low plan premium, or in some cases a $0 premium, you may be able to get coverage for your hospital visits, doctor appointments, prescription drugs, routine dental care, eyeglasses and contact lenses, hearing aids, and possibly more. Today may be the first time you've heard about this type of Medicare plan. The advisors at the Medicare.com helpline are licensed insurance agents who will explain more when you call. Call now to see if you qualify. Call the number on your screen now. Call now to see if you qualify for these benefits. You worked hard for your Medicare. Now is the time for your Medicare to work hard for you. Not affiliated with or acting on behalf of any government agency or program.
The following message is brought to you by Mesobook.com.
People who have been diagnosed with mesothelioma have many questions. How did I get this disease? What are my treatment options? How will this affect my loved ones? You need answers, which is why we offer a free book written by medical professionals who have treated mesothelioma.
Call toll-free at 1-800-777-1366 or go to Mesobook.com.
Planning a Carnival Fantasy Cruise out of Mobile? Then check out the park and cruise packages at the luxurious Battle House and Renaissance Riverview Plaza hotels. Stay at the Battle House for $169 per night, or the Riverview Plaza for just $149 per night, and leave your car for the duration of your cruise. Includes transportation to and from the cruise terminal. If you're cruising out of Mobile, come stay with us. Call 1-800-MARRIOTT or visit Marriott.com now.
Now your ABC 7 First Alert weather forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
Now, looking at Tower Cam, we still got some shower and thunderstorm activity way out in the Gulf waters. Some of that will gradually be drifting closer to the coast, and we'll keep an eye on seeing a thunderstorm or two across our region as we head into the afternoon. You'll notice our camera kind of shaking just a little bit. Wind speeds have picked up a bit, and we do have some small craft advisories for our area waters up through 8 p.m. today. It is a warm, sticky afternoon. Only 88-degree air temperature. I say only, but still only 88 degrees. A dew point value, though, just about as warm as it gets in Florida. Dew point value at 79. So very humid outside, giving us a feels-like temperature of 103 already. We'll probably be up to 105 before the end of the day. We're looking at a 3 p.m. temperature of probably around the 88-degree mark. We'll have about a 40% chance of showers through the afternoon and thunderstorms. I don't think we'll see anything severe, but we'll keep an eye on it. There could be still some chance of gusty winds contained within some of the thunderstorm cells that build, but it looks like the heaviest of the weather will probably be a little bit further to our south. Anyway, we'll keep an eye on that for you. And then as we head into tomorrow morning, we may have a chance of seeing some more thunderstorms around. Probably not as intense as we saw this morning, though. This is the Futurecast. We'll put it into motion through the afternoon. By 5 p.m. this evening, Not a lot of activity around, but there probably will be a few showers and maybe a thunderstorm or two. Things have settled down quite a bit. And then as we head into the evening, we'll be watching for perhaps a reintroduction of a few stronger storms moving through during the early morning hours tomorrow. And we could get some thunderstorm activity that produces occasionally some gusty winds and certainly some frequent lightning, downpours of rain tomorrow morning in certain locations. It just won't be the huge line of intense storms that we saw today. As we head into the afternoon, we'll look for the possibility of more severe weather across the state of Florida, though I think it's going to focus mainly in the interior and coastal regions of the southern tip of the state. We're still included in the 5% risk of some storms that could contain wind damage according to the Severe Storm Prediction Center, but we're chipping away at the aerial coverage in our neck of the woods. Manatee no longer in that zone of probability for marginal risk for storms. You can see why. Most of the lightning, which is another way we can determine where the kind of heaviest storm activity is kind of being pushed down a little bit further to the south. Now, all of this will gradually drift eastward, and you'll start to pick up bigger thunderstorms, but as you can see here, most of it is to the south around the Fort Myers region. Not to say we won't have a thunderstorm or two around here. You can see a general easterly trend to some of those storms. Certainly some gusty winds, 15 to 20 this afternoon. Small craft advisories up for our area waters. Watch for that. We'll go with a chance of rainfall this afternoon and then into tomorrow as well. As we head into Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, I think we'll return to a more typical summertime pattern for this time of year, which is showers building inland and then gradually drifting back to the coast. Ray?
Thank you, John. This story is for you now in Health Smart. If you think vacations make you feel better, you might be right. Researchers say that taking time off can actually improve your health. Reporter Kim Hutcherson has results of a new study in today's Health Minute.
Have you been feeling unhealthy lately? A vacation could be the best medicine. Researchers say what many have long believed to be true, some time away may actually reduce stress. The gold standard of long-term health studies, the Framingham Heart Study, which tracked workers over 20 years, found vacations can be important for your physical health. According to the study, men who didn't take vacations were 30% more likely to have a heart attack. And for women who don't take a break, the chance of a heart attack went up to 50%. Researchers also find that vacations improve mental health and overall well-being. The best way to rest and recharge is to plan ahead. Experts recommend that you talk openly with your colleagues about your time off and clarify your priorities. And make sure to delegate tasks. By having a well-organized vacation plan, you can schedule time off without feeling guilty about leaving work unfinished. So go ahead and take that vacation. You deserve it. For today's Health Minute, I'm Kim Hutcherson.
All right, time for lunch. Chef Judy is here, and chicken is the special of the day, Judy.
That's right. We're going to do a spatchcock chicken, and what that means is that you've taken a whole chicken, they've cut out the backbone, and they've basically physically mashed that chicken down. Well, now you don't have the mess in your kitchen, because I found spatchcock chickens ready to go, cold aired, at Whole Foods. So that's going to be a big relief for us as we start to make this Asian style, kind of Korean inspired spatchcock chicken. We're going to mix it in with a little toasted coconut rice and some different flavors, and I'll show you the bottle version, as easy as you can make it with just some ketchup and lemon juice and a few other ingredients. We'll see you on the other side of the break for some delicious roasted Korean chicken.
Get more for your money at Sunset Subaru in Sarasota. Subaru vehicles hold their value better than any other brand for 2018, according to ALG. And Subaru is Kelley Blue Book's most trusted brand for 4 years running. The Subaru Impreza is an IIHS top safety pick for 11 years running. Lease a new Subaru Impreza today for just $155 a month. Or get 0% financing with zero down. Get more for your money. Go to Sunset Subaru in Sarasota.
Did you know you could get life insurance for less than 32 cents a day? With Guaranteed Acceptance whole life insurance through TruStage, you can get up to $25,000 in protection with a single phone call. TruStage can help free your family from immediate financial stress when you're gone.
Utility bills, mortgages, car payments, those are a lot of things that can add up pretty fast.
And even if you're on a fixed income, prices fit your budget, starting at less than 32 cents a day. Plus, your price will never increase and your benefit will never decrease. And with no medical tests or health questions, you cannot be turned down for any reason. Call 1-800-842-7189 now for a free, no-obligation quote. TrueStage offers plans to fit your budget. Help protect your family from immediate financial burdens after you're gone with guaranteed acceptance whole life insurance through TrueStage. Call 1-800-842-7189 now.
Did you know that a dirty CPAP system can make you sick? If you knew what could be growing in your mask and hose, it would keep you up at night. Now SoClean.com has released the world's first and only automated hands-free CPAP cleaner and sanitizer. With its patented design, SoClean is fast, effective, and hands-free, killing 99.9% of all CPAP germs. Try SoClean now through this special TV offer free for 30 days. Just call 800-604-0398.
My health has improved. It's simple to use, and I'm not worried about infections.
SoClean works on all CPAP machines and popular masks, destroying CPAP bacteria, viruses, and germs without the daily hassle of washing your system by hand. Just place your mask in, close the lid, and in just minutes, voila! Sanitized and ready to use. Try SoClean risk-free for 30 days. This is a limited time offer. Call now, 800-604-0398. Or visit SoClean.com today.
My name is Luke Perry, and I am 1 million strong. I'm in the fight against colorectal cancer because I believe we can win it. Colon and rectal cancers are the second leading cause of cancer deaths among men and women in the U.S. Colon cancer is preventable. Know the risk factors and make sure to get screened. There are simple, take-home options available. Take control of your health. Screening for colon cancer isn't embarrassing. It can be life-saving. To find out more about your options, visit fightcrc.org.
A dispute over a handicapped parking spot wound up in fatal gunshots in Clearwater. But as ABC's Gio Benitez tells us, the man who fired the shots won't face charges due to Florida's Stand Your Ground law.
You're looking at surveillance video of a fight over a parking space that ended with an unarmed 28-year-old father of 3 killed. Florida police not charging the gunman, calling it an example of the state's contentious so-called Stand Your Ground law.
I just want justice. I need something to be done because this is not right.
Brittany Jacobs was sitting in her boyfriend's idling car when, she says, 47-year-old Michael Drejka approached to tell her that she illegally parked in a handicap spot. Her boyfriend, 28-year-old Marquise McLaughlin, had gone into the store to buy snacks for the kids. You can see McLaughlin walk out of the store. He sees and hears the argument, runs over, and pushes Drejka to the ground.
He's, pushing this man away from his girl, telling him to get away.
But that's when the irreversible happens. Drejka takes out a gun and shoots McLaughlin. McLaughlin, holding his chest, runs back into the store. Jacobs and the children watching from the car.
He collapsed in front of my son, and within 30 minutes, he was gone.
McLaughlin was taken to the hospital where he was pronounced dead. This morning, there are reports that Drejka, the shooter, has been known to have angry encounters over parking.
Out here, he said he'll shoot me.
The store owner says he's even had to call the cops on him for confronting other customers over parking.
For a parking lot, for a stupid reason, just to argue, just to find someone to argue with.
But police say this shooting was self-defense. The Stand Your Ground law gives Floridians the right to protect themselves if they feel threatened. It was used as the defense argument for former neighborhood watchman George Zimmerman, who killed unarmed 17-year-old Trayvon Martin back in 2012. The shooting and Zimmerman's acquittal sparking national outrage. Back in Clearwater overnight, a girlfriend asking for justice.
He was a good man, and all he was trying to do was just protect his family.
And that's reported. Benitez, Florida is one of 20 states with a Stand Your Ground law in place. Well, she is a chef, and now she's also an author. Back to Chef Judy, our very own Renaissance person in the kitchen.
Well, thank you, Ray. I'm really excited, and I just got notified by Amazon. They're just about sold out, so they're restocking them, and you can get them on Barnes & Noble online. I'll be doing local book signings in about a month, so we'll keep you updated. So this recipe originally was called Grilled General Tso's Chicken. I've taken a couple liberties with it. So the first thing you want to do is take the package of the spatchcock chicken. Now, a lot of people ask me, do you need to wash the chicken, and how do you wash the chicken? The most important things to remember is you rinse the chicken in very cold water and then you pat it dry. So I just want to show you exactly, you just lift it right out there, and in the spatchcock you want to make sure that you start it upside down in the pan. So what I did was 3 to 4 tablespoons of a low sodium gluten-free soy sauce. I mean, right now I am just going for low sodium whenever I can. And for soy sauce, it's so high in sodium that it's better if you switch that out. So I have marinated this in the soy sauce, just a hint of orange that I think brings out that flavor in the General Tso's chicken. And this way, by grilling it, it's not going to be as intense. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this particular chicken right over here, and I'm just going to put it on the plate so we can use the same pan now. So we have that beautiful chicken. This is clearly enough for 2 people, and the backbone's out, so it's going to be very easy. Now, the spatchcock chicken that's marinated in soy sauce and equal parts of canola oil. So what we're going to do is we're going to take that out of the bag, then we're just going to pat it dry. Let's remove the bag, and we'll start a new bag for that one, because that can marinate till tomorrow. I usually say 2 to 4 hours on a marinade for something like a chicken. Remember, if you marinate it for about 3 days, what happens is it's going to break down the protein, and that's what you don't want. So it comes out of the bag, pat it dry, and then when we come back, this is going to go in the oven for a little bit. When we come back, I'm going to show you how to make the sauce and the garnish, and you've got a nice dinner for tonight or tomorrow night ready to go.
Ready to open up new opportunities as an electrician? Don't do it yourself. Team up with Mr. Sparky instead. We're locally owned and looking for people like you. We offer our electricians great perks that you just won't get going it alone. And whether you're an apprentice, a master electrician, or somewhere in between, we have a spot for you.
Best decision I ever made.
Apply online or call today.
You don't have to put up with any malarkey. Call 888-8-SPARKY.
If you don't want to fall immediately into love, look away. If you don't want to awaken a desire for excellence, look away. If you don't want to be seduced, please look away.
Rediscover your passion for driving at Sunset Maserati Alfa Romeo of Sarasota.
It's hard to see when you're outside at night. It's time for the Atomic Beam Sunblast, the new solar-powered light that's super bright. Atomic Beam Sunblast lets you add a light anywhere, and the atomic solar panels charge the built-in lithium-ion battery quickly. Then the 180-degree motion sensor turns on the light when you get near and automatically turns off when you disappear. Look, here's a best-selling outdoor solar light, and here's the Super Bright Atomic Beam Sunblast. Get the Super Bright Atomic Beam Sunblast for only $19.99. But wait, call right now and you can double your order and get a second Sunblast, plus our best-selling Atomic Beam Flashlight. Just pay a separate fee. That's 2 Atomic Beam Sunblasts and the Atomic Beam Flashlight. Call now.
Call 1-800-431-6640. That's 1-800-431-6640. Or visit mysunblast.com. So call 1-800-431-6640. Order now.
My name is Haley. I have Fragile X syndrome. I work with Chartwells at Einstein's and FAU. I like being up front and interacting with students. The students are very nice and very hungry. Having a job is a big ticket for independence.
Hi, this is Dan Marino. When your business recruits people with disabilities, everybody wins. To find out how, go to disabilitieswork.employflorida.com.
You are the best protection she has. Buddy up. I'm Jill Harrington. Please visit HelpSaveTheNextGirl.com and get involved.
Coming up, third time's a charm. The Senate will vote today on another nominee for the Veterans Administration. Plus, hotel mugging, the latest on a man knocked to the ground outside a Suncoast hotel. And a new way to keep backyard pools safe. Your Suncoast News starts right now.
You're watching ABC 7 News at 12:30.
Welcome back. Our top story at 12:30. President Trump is now using a newly revealed FBI document to prove the Russia investigation was motivated by one thing: politics. ABC's Tara Palmieri explains as the commander-in-chief is tweeting that it's all one big hoax.
President Trump claiming the FBI was wrong to surveil his former campaign advisor Carter Page a month before the election. Tweeting, quote, looking more and more like the Trump campaign for president was illegally spied upon. A redacted FBI FISA warrant released this weekend shows that the FBI suspected Page was being recruited by the Russians and asked the judge for permission to surveil him. Page has denied it.
I've never been an agent of the foreign power by any stretch of the imagination.
But Trump says the FBI operation was politically motivated because the warrant references an opposition document referred to as the Steele dossier, paid for in part by the Clinton campaign to support the surveillance. The FBI documents outline additional evidence to support the government's motion and disclose that they suspected the Steele dossier document was politically motivated.
If you read actually the documents themselves, it becomes clear exactly why they wanted this. Remember, this is an application saying this is why we need more information.
3 other judges also approved different FBI requests to monitor Page. This comes as the president dodges backlash over his praise of Russian President Vladimir Putin at a press conference in Helsinki.
These are serious matters, and I think there's no ignoring the fact that for whatever reason, this president acts like he's compromised.
President Trump is still defending his performance in Helsinki, tweeting, quote, remember, I gave up nothing. We merely talked about future benefits for both countries. Tara Palmieri, ABC News, Washington.
Happening today, the Senate is expected to confirm a new Secretary of Veterans Affairs. Robert Wilkie would be President Trump's third pick for VA Secretary in the past 18 months. The longtime Pentagon official says he will shake up complacency at the VA, which has been plagued by slow care of millions of veterans. The first FBI nominee withdrew after allegations of workplace misconduct, and the second one was fired amid ethics charges. Also happening today, that duck boat in that deadly accident that killed 17 people last week will be raised from the lake. Investigators are examining the boat's data recorder, zeroing in on the captain and what he told passengers about the life jackets on board the boat. They're hoping it might reveal what happened in the final moments before the boat capsized. The NTSB says the lake had 6-foot swells and near hurricane force winds when the boat sank. 8 years after the BP oil spill, checks to help Florida recover are still being written. Triumph Gulf Coast has given preliminary approval for about $64 million in grants to the state's aviation industry. Most of that money is going to repair and maintenance at the Pensacola International Airport. Triumph is the group appointed by the state attorney general to oversee disbursements of about $2 billion in settlement money from British Petroleum. Looking ahead, NASA is about to venture into uncharted territory. For the first time ever, the space agency will send a mission to the sun. A solar probe is outfitted with carbon composite solar shields to help withstand the heat and atmosphere around the sun. The spacecraft is expected to lift off on August 6th from Cape Canaveral on board a Delta IV rocket. If conditions are not right that morning, the launch window remains open until August 19th. Help unlock some mysteries of the sun. 24 loops around.
It's pretty interesting, actually, because the sun's temperature is about 6,000 degrees, 5,000, 6,000 degrees.
Yes.
But just further out from the sun and in its atmosphere and its corona, it can get up to, you know, almost 2 million degrees. So it's kind of weird why the atmosphere would be warmer than the surface. They think they understand that, but maybe this mission would figure it out. It's always been, you know, a dream to get a mission out close to the sun, but
Yeah.
it's of course been a problem because it would burn up. But they solved the problem.
Getting closer.
They're going to go at night.
Oh, why not?
So that'll work out.
That'll do it.
That'll do it. So we had a little bit of cloud cover across the region this morning, obviously, and some very, very heavy rainfall. Lots of lightning. Amazingly strong winds. This is a weather pattern that is very peculiar for this time of year. Kind of jet stream-induced thunderstorm activity like this. We get the sea breeze and pulse thunderstorms that build in the afternoon, but it's kind of rare to get these jet stream thunderstorms like we got during the nighttime. Right now, we do have some heavier thunderstorm activity out in Gulf waters, but it's basically pushing to the south. Take a look at the time lapse over the last 5 hours of the lightning strikes, and that kind of follows the trend of the stronger thunderstorms, and you can see it's pushing southward. So I think the rest of the afternoon will feature some quieter conditions. Wind speeds will be up though. Small craft advisories, rip currents, both a problem, and advisories issued for that reason for our area waterways. Also, red tide an issue. We now have several locations with intense red tide being reported, and a red tide advisory has been issued as well, especially from Venice southward. Intense amount of irritant in the air could lead to some respiratory distress for some. Complete forecast coming up in just a few. Ray?
Thank you, John. Disturbing story here. A search is underway for a man who tried to rob another man leaving a hotel near the Sarasota airport. It happened at the Ramada Inn in the 7000 block of North Tamiami Trail, right near the Manatee-Sarasota County border. Deputies say the victim stepped out of his hotel room about 5 p.m. when a man with dreadlocks approached and demanded money. The mugger then punched the hotel guest in the face, knocked him down, and went through his pockets. After all this, he left empty-handed. If you can help solve this one, call Crime Stoppers at 866-634-TIPS. Well, today, the first guardians for the Manatee County School District are now in training. Much of this first day was getting guns to the 20 guardians in this first group. The next group of 20 begin training August 20th. The district says 80% of these guardians are former law enforcement officers or they were in the military. They'll have to complete a total of 144 hours of training, but the district says this first group will be ready in time for the second week of school. The training will primarily focus on firearms, but also include several active shooter situations. Today, the lead guardian says despite the short time left, they'll be ready.
First and foremost, we are there for the protection of your children. We are there to make your children safe. We're there to prevent any problems or anyone to cause harm. That is paramount. I believe myself and everybody here feels that way, and that is what driven us to be here today.
The guardians complete their training. There'll be at least one guardian or school resource officer in each of the 50 campuses within the Manatee County School District. Sarasota County School Board could soon see a big shakeup. 3 of 5 seats are up for grabs, and tonight our 7 o'clock show will focus on District 4. It's between incumbent Shirley Brown and challenger Karen Rose. Now this is Brown. She has served on the board for the past 12 years. Before that, she was in the legislature in Tallahassee between 1992 and 2000. Now there's her competitor, Karen Rose. She spent the last 28 years in the Sarasota County education system, 12 years teaching at Southside, a principal at Brookside, and later at Sarasota Middle. She recently retired as the executive director of middle schools for the district.
Right now, I'm concerned because in Tallahassee, they want to arm our teachers with guns rather than giving them the tools they need to help our children succeed.
I really feel like there are some issues on the table, and having served for so many years and having the support of actually students that have grown up and they're adults, neighbors, friends, colleagues, that there's a lot of things that I can help support and resolve.
Now, this is technically a nonpartisan race, but Brown is a Democrat and Rose is a Republican. They'll both be at the Trapezoid tonight, only on ABC 7 at 7. Caught on camera, look at this. Video shared online by the Anna Maria Island Chamber of Commerce. You can see dozens of sea turtle hatchlings making their way toward the water. Surf's up, guys. The chamber said it's moments like this that wouldn't be possible without residents turning off their lights as part of their ongoing Lights Out AMI movement. You watch that all day. It might take all day to watch it. Let's go back to the kitchen now. Chef Judy has got some mashed chicken today, Judy.
Well, it's called spatchcock. So spatchcock means that we've taken out that backbone and basically it's pressed really hard down, otherwise known as chicken under a brick. But now you can buy it already done. I used to have to beg the butcher to do that for me, and now it comes just air chilled, ready to go. So we've started that process. Now we have the chicken in the oven. Remember, it marinated about 2 to 3 hours in a Ziploc bag, and basically with vegetable or canola oil and low sodium soy sauce. So we started down, skin side down is how we're gonna roast it. Now I'm gonna turn it over. This is probably the perfect time. What you're starting to see is the black on the edges. Now over here, you can either buy a Korean sauce pre-made, or this is so easy and you can balance the flavor a little bit more if you do it yourself. We're gonna take ketchup, a splash of lemon juice, some honey, and some honey white balsamic vinegar all together. And then what we're gonna do, depending on the spice that you want, you're gonna add just a teeny bit, like a pinch of crushed red pepper. Another thing we're gonna do is we have this beautiful elephant garlic, which are these huge cloves. We're gonna grate the garlic right in here, and then I'm gonna grate in some zest of orange as well, just to give it that citrus note. If you find that it got a little too spicy as you're playing with it, don't worry about it. Orange juice will cut it down. Now what we're gonna do is we're just gonna drizzle this sauce over the chicken. It's going to go back in the oven until the chicken reaches an internal temperature of 165 degrees. So have that instant read thermometer, and that will go back. This will start to caramelize, and we'll toss in some vegetables in just a few minutes and serve John up some delicious lunch.
Hello, Mom.
Amanda's mom's appointment just got rescheduled for today. Amanda needs Right at Home. Our customized care plan provides as much or as little help as her mom requires, whether it's a ride to the doctor or help around the house.
Oh, of course. Tom, I am really sorry. I've got to go.
Look, call Right at Home. Get the right care right at home.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G. Fried has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G. Fried Flooring America. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
Did you know you could get life insurance for less than 32 cents a day? With Guaranteed Acceptance whole life insurance through TruStage, you can get up to $25,000 in protection with a single phone call. TruStage can help free your family from immediate financial stress when you're gone.
Utility bills, mortgages, car payments, those are a lot of things that can add up pretty fast.
And even if you're on a fixed income, prices fit your budget, starting at less than 32 cents a day. Plus, your price will never increase and your benefit will never decrease. And with no medical tests or health questions, you cannot be turned down for any reason. Call 1-800-842-7189. Now, for a free, no-obligation quote, TruStage offers plans to fit your budget. Help protect your family from immediate financial burdens after you're gone with Guaranteed Acceptance whole life insurance through TruStage. Call 1-800-842-7189 now.
How do you open tough jar lids? Do you try this one? Or this one? Or how about this one?
Honey?
This is the future. Shouldn't there be a robot for this by now? There is. Introducing RoboTwist, the robotic jar opener that easily twists off even the toughest lids. Just set it down, press the button, and watch it work. First, the RoboStrong vise locks down tight. Then the powerful twisting action unscrews the lid. RoboTwist is yours for the special introductory price of just $19.99. That's right, the robotic jar opener that easily twists off even the toughest lids, all for just $19.99. Whether the jar is big or small, RoboTwist can open them all. Supplies are limited, so don't delay. Here's how to get yours today.
Call 1-800-347-1073. That's 1-800-347-1073. Or order online at buyrobotwist.com.
Now your ABC 7 First Alert Weather Forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
Yeah, 88 degrees the air temperature, but this is an indication of just how moist it is out there. It feels like temperature is already 103. That's how sticky and humid the air is, with a dew point value of 79. We got about a 40% chance, I think, of showers, maybe a thunderstorm or two this afternoon. I don't think we'll see anything like we saw this morning. As we head into the evening, things quiet down completely, and then tomorrow morning there'll probably be a few thunderstorms around during drive time as well. We still have about a 5% risk. We're still in that zone of 5% risk, as determined by the Severe Storm Prediction Center as a marginal risk for the potential of some gusty winds, damaging winds. I think majority of that is going to occur to the south of us, and as we go through the afternoon, we may see that watch area, it's not a watch, that area of possible severe storms kind of chipped away even further until we get down toward Charlotte County, perhaps. You can see all the thunderstorm activity out here in the Gulf, and there is a general drift down to the south and kind of a reduction in the intensity of some of these storms with time as we take a look at Titan radar here over the course of the last few hours. Still, with a little daytime heating, a possibility of firing off a thunderstorm here or two locally. We've had a lot of rainfall, and of course that leads to some river problems, and we do have multiple river flood warnings up for the west coast of Florida. For us, we have the Manatee River at Myakka Head forecast to go above flood stage and produce some minor flooding, but still just an indication of how much moisture we've had. A lot of cloud cover. I think maybe the cloud cover might help to cut the heating just a little bit, maybe reduce and keep us in a kind of a stable layer of air that may reduce our chance of any kind of stronger thunderstorms. We have had, according to Doppler rainfall estimates, some very heavy rainfall in inland areas, some over 3-inch rainfalls in inland areas. That from some of those stronger storms that produce those really strong winds, 50-mile-an-hour plus winds in inland locations. And of course, those isolated downburst winds near the coast as well, all unwarned, by the way, interestingly enough. So you just never know. You always got to keep your eye to the sky. Low pressure is produced by a jet stream trough, and little areas of disturbed weather kind of rotate around that as we go through the next day or two until finally it lifts out of here, high pressure builds back in, and we'll kind of be left with a typical weather pattern for this time of year. Small craft advisories, rip current advisories, all an issue, as is the red tide in some locations, creating respiratory distress. West wind coming in at about 15 to 20 this afternoon, boaters. And over the next several days, we'll look for about a 40% chance of showers today. Again, about a 60% chance tomorrow, starting with thunderstorms in the morning. And then we'll start to trend down the rain chances as high pressure builds in, and we return to that kind of typical summertime pattern by Thursday or Friday. Ray?
Thank you, John. Consumer news now. A father in Phoenix has a new invention to reduce the number of backyard pool drownings. As reporter Leanna Enriquez tells us, it relies on motion detection cameras.
It's a gut-wrenching call for all involved.
There's a certain level of emotion that's stirred when you know that you're going to a drowning and it's a child.
Watching all these stories that are happening on a daily basis of kids drowning.
It takes an impact on you. You feel that.
According to Phoenix Fire, so far this year, there have been 27 drowning calls and 6 deaths in just Phoenix alone.
Hi, princess. The light bulb went out in my head, and there's a problem. Let's find a solution for it.
A Valley dad, so saddened by those statistics, decided to take action.
Our kids are the most valuable thing to us as parents. Such a tragedy to occur, it's unnecessary.
Lee Cambar and partners say Morningstar is a drone device which will act like an extra set of eyes.
Sits in the middle of your pool, floats around. It's got dual camera, top and bottom camera, that rotate 360 degrees. It's a 2-piece device, app, software, and hardware. It has motion detection, facial recognition.
One camera sits above the device to monitor the pool surroundings.
The minute they approach the pool, it'll send you a notification.
The other camera sits underwater and alerts you by sound and live video when something or someone is in the water.
Say you miss that notification and Lena jumps in the pool, then you get a second notification from the bottom camera that's showing your live image with inside the pool of your kid dealing with crisis. From there, you can dispatch local emergency services.
Every second counts in these situations.
And Kambar says he hopes his device can give first responders those extra critical seconds that may make the difference in saving a life.
This is dad looking after his children. Hopefully it can affect other dads and other families.
And that is reporter Leanna Enriquez. Kambar says once the device hits the market later on this year, the price tag will be just under $1,000. Still to come on your Suncoast News, we'll check back one last time with Chef Judy and meet an 11-year-old college graduate. That's right, an 11-year-old college graduate in the Bay Area. Find out what he wants to be when he grows up.
Temperatures are rising and the deals are heating up during the summer clearance event at Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram Fiat in Sarasota. Get KBB's 2017 Best Buy Award overall winner, the Chrysler Pacifica, for just $23,999. Or save big and get the new Chrysler 300 Touring with an MSRP over $30,000 for just $21,999. That's a savings of over $8,000. Better prices, bigger selection. Go to Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram Fiat in Sarasota today.
Did you know that a dirty CPAP system can make you sick? If you knew what could be growing in your mask and hose, it would keep you up at night. Now SoClean.com has released the world's first and only automated hands-free CPAP cleaner and sanitizer. With its patented design, SoClean is fast, effective, and hands-free, killing 99.9% of all CPAP germs. Try SoClean now through this special TV offer free for 30 days. Just call 800-604-0398.
My health has improved. It's simple to use and I'm not worried about infections.
SoClean works on all CPAP machines and popular masks, destroying CPAP bacteria, viruses, and germs without the daily hassle of washing your system by hand. Just place your mask in, close the lid, and in just minutes, voila! Sanitized and ready to use. Try SoClean risk-free for 30 days. This is a limited time offer. Call now, 800-604-0398. Or visit SoClean.com today.
Chris Domine is a husband, father, an athlete, even an Ironman. But 10 years ago, Chris's kidneys were failing.
The doctor said if you don't do dialysis, if you don't get a kidney transplant, you are going to die.
Then Chris received a second chance, made possible by an organ donor.
Your well-being changes from loss of hope to better times ahead.
Imagine what you could make possible. Learn more and sign up as an organ, eye, and tissue donor. Go to organdonor.gov.
If you're looking for the perfect trip that allows you to spend quality time with a family, then discover the great outdoors on an Alabama Black Belt adventure. Create unforgettable memories while hunting, fishing, or biking and hiking. Or play the Robert Trent Jones Golf Trail, now celebrating 25 years. And while you're here, enjoy the flavors of the Black Belt. Book your adventure at our lodges or stay in the Renaissance Montgomery Hotel and Spa. Start planning an Alabama Black Belt adventure today.
Oh, we're back.
We're
this
back
is delicious.
Already.
This is great.
Thank
Judy.
you. So spatchcock General Tso style chicken is somewhere between Korean and General Tso. So you get that, you know, a little bit of corn syrup in it, but you can modify that by dusting cornstarch in it as well. So, and the key is that marinade that you start out with of the low sodium soy sauce and canola oil.
Perfectly cooked.
Bring it
so
all together.
Juicy and tender. That's
Thank
the spatchcocking, I
That's
suppose.
the spatchcocking.
Delicious.
Trust me.
Recipe on our website, mysuncoast.com. Check it out. Hit the dining link page. Judy, thank you very much.
Thank you, John.
Bon appetit.
Thank you both very much. All right, later on today on ABC7 News at 4, there are hundreds of types of dogs, which is why it's hard to distinguish different breeds. We'll tell you about an app that can help you figure out what type of breed a dog with a push of a button. Plus, also today, a dancing dentist who's capturing the hearts of millions. We'll show you the viral video today on ABC 7 News at 4. Entertainment news now. This year's edition of San Diego's Comic-Con took place this past weekend, and there were some big reveals and big surprises from the biggest pop culture event of the year. Reporter Rick Demangela looks at some of the biggest moments in today's Hollywood Minute.
Permission to come aboard.
Warner Brothers used the 2018 San Diego Comic-Con event to give fans a preview of the next movie in the DC Extended Universe franchise. The first trailer for Aquaman's standalone flick features star Jason Momoa, along with looks at the undersea kingdom of Atlantis and his archenemy Black Manta. Aquaman swims onto movie screens December 21st.
I specialize in those individuals who believe they are superheroes.
Universal unveiled the first footage of Glass, M. Night Shyamalan's follow-up to Unbreakable and Split. The movie stars Bruce Willis, Samuel L. Jackson, and James McAvoy in their roles from the previous movies. Glass hits theaters January 18th, 2019.
Hello, Master. It's been a while.
Comic-Con featured the surprise announcement of a new season of Star Wars: The Clone Wars. The animated series ran from 2008 to 2013. The 12-episode continuation will air on Disney's forthcoming streaming service, expected to launch next year. In Hollywood, I'm Rick Damagella.
Finally, out of all the sequels this past weekend, the one that did the best was Equalizer 2. The Denzel Washington action sequel opened with over $36 million, a few million better than the original debut, and a much different sequel, Mamma Mia, Here We Go Again. Second place, just under $35 million. Finally, out of all the summer 2018 graduates at St. Petersburg College, there is one who stands out more than any others. 11-year-old William Malis, who just earned his bachelor's degree. The boy genius says he learned algebra at the age of 4, high school graduate at 9, college classes since he was 8. He says his goal now is to be a meteorologist. No, just kidding. Close, an astrophysicist.
Wow.
That's
unbelievable,
I think
right?
he will do it by age 14.
Whatever he wants to do, I think he'll get.
World's his oyster.
Thanks for watching. We'll see you tomorrow on Good Morning Suncoast.